That's it. No more. I think my brother says a nice looking Glock. What's the Glock?
Glock.
What is it?
It's the handgun. It's the name of the company that makes that gun.
Oh my God, I literally, Felder's like, email me.
Yo, it's Remember the Show. Slick with the flows, where the sparring can go. Who's gonna be on, man, you never will know. Guess you better tune in, cause we live from Chicago. Belal Muhammad, that's the king of the tweets. Jason Anik looks like John, step his hands to his feet. Every Thursday, we gon' give you a treat. It's Remember the Show, hit play and repeat. And retweet, and retweet, and retweet. And retweet, it's Remember the Show, hit play and repeat.
Man, am I starting to look forward to Thursday nights. It is Remember the Show. Got a little background noise behind Bully. We'll get them into a minute. It's episode 7, Remember the Show. My name is Jason Anik, joined, as always, by the star of the show, Belal. Remember the name Mohammed. Great to see you, brother. Different locale this week, man. We're pretty close. What's up, man? Where are you at?
What's up, my brother? I'm down here in Florida, visiting my boy Jared, getting some training down here, getting some sun. It's snowing in Chicago right now, so I'm going to take as much sun and as much beach as I can right now for the next couple of days.
Well, dude, so we're like 15-mile areas. Flash loves flashing on the screen. You can't get enough. He wants on. But, dude, we're 15 miles away, man. We should be doing this together. You know, if things were different, man, COVID gets in the way. It's like, you know, I mean, not like that would be a deterrent, but we should be together, bro. Next time you're down here, we're doing the show together.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm definitely going to be down here a lot more now. And then, yeah, we'll for sure do it together. It'd be cool to hit it like that. And maybe John will come in, too. It'll just make it a fun little show.
Exactly. Well, good, man. Well, obviously, as we do the show Thursday nights, we're removed from the fight card 5 days ago, but Khabib Nurmagomedov, man. You know, it's interesting, and I'll let you wax poetic on this. No one wants to hear me, but it's interesting. Ige had some really interesting comments last week on Remember the Show about some of the things that, you know, as he said, don't underestimate Khabib's stand-up, you know, and certainly we saw some of that. So give us your thoughts, man, on an epic night for Khabib.
Man, that was honestly just like, you can't get a better, more perfect performance from the guy. Like, he literally just, like, walked through it. Like, everybody was expecting a stand-up to be a problem for him. And literally, he didn't get the takedown in the first round until, like, the last, like, 20 seconds or 15 seconds. So, like, the whole first round was him walking forward. Justin's leg kicks, I said the leg kicks were probably going to be a big key in it. He was landing the leg kicks, but Khabib was walking through them. And the biggest thing for me was I feel like Justin was too nervous about the takedown. He was getting there in a wrestling stance. His hands were super low. He wasn't comfortable. He was backing up, moving around. And when you start backing up, when you start moving around, when you're overthinking, like you get drained from cardio, man. Like the nerves, everything's already in there. You're already in a title fight. Those nerves for him were probably all over the place. And like after the first round, you could tell him breathing a lot harder than he usually is during fights, because he's usually the guy pushing forward, making guys back up. And Khabib was making him back up the whole time, walking through all his punches, walking through his low kicks. And I think it killed him mentally more than anything. Like, even at that first takedown when Khabib got him, he was like, it was more of like a little smile, like a little smirk, like, ha. And then Khabib got that mount at the end of the first round. And you're like, man, this guy's that good.
Dude, I'm with you. And, you know, Whitman in the corner was telling him to slow down in between rounds. And I'm not sure he could. Khabib's pace, I mean, he had to play defense all night. And you know, Gaethje's, you know, face was a little bit battered too. You know, Khabib on the feet I couldn't have been more impressed, man. And I'm not sure Gaethje could have slowed down. It was like he had to play fast defense, for lack of a better way to put it. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Like when you got a guy in your face the whole time, that's like the hardest guy to fight. When you have that guy that's not backing up, not circling around. You don't have that little break. Usually in a fight, you'll know if all right, he landed something good. Most guys will land something and they'll back up a little bit and circle off. Khabib's in your face, landing, feints in, throwing again. You don't know where the next punch is going to come in. He throws flying knees from everywhere. And like, people underestimate his striking, but his striking looked so good during that fight. And just adding that fear of the wrestling makes his striking that much more dangerous, because if you're once Gaethje gets his hands up and he's like playing defense, then all right, now you have to worry about him shooting in on you. And that's what happened at that second round when he just got underneath them and that double leg was just so deep. And I felt like it was more so like it was more shocking to Gaethje that he got taken down so easily. And that's why Khabib was able to mount him so easily and get on top of him so easily. I think it was more so just like the shock feeling of everybody who says they fight Khabib. They're like, man, once you feel how he grabs you, it's a different feeling. You never felt that before.
Unbelievable. And Ige sort of alluded to some of that stuff. And I think he thought maybe that Gaethje, he alluded to how difficult Gaethje was to keep down in training. But, with Khabib now, the retirement in the cage, whether that is finalized or not, Dana White was barking a little bit today about, thinking that was an emotional moment. But, as people look back at Khabib and appreciate sort of his body of work and talk about how he's never been bloodied in the cage and never committed a foul in the cage. And it really is just forget greatest of all time. We don't need to waste time with that discussion, but this guy, man, it's like, why waste your time considering anybody else? And, certainly I'm left with it's the fact that we're not going to be able to see him face Ferguson. If that's really a reality that Tony Ferguson never had that moment, man, that's a tough reality. I can't get that vision out of my head of Ferguson in his last fight, obviously, but man, it's just unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Yeah, there's a lot of fights on the table that you really want to see, but it's like one of those where I feel like the fact that he brought it up, like his mom wants him to stop fighting, his dad and everything. I feel like emotionally, like you could see he spilled out all of his emotion in the cage when he was crying after the fight, and kind of like Michael Jordan, where I felt like he retired after his dad died and then he came back. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that at least Khabib will come back to 30-0 because that was always the plan, was for 30-0, and maybe he'll get one more. I feel like a GSP will bring him back, or I don't think like a Conor McGregor or even like a Dustin Poirier will bring him back, just because, like you said, like I already beat those guys, I finished those guys. I need that motivation, that one that's gonna get me to get my mom to say, okay, you could do it again, you can fight again. Yeah,
right.
Like
I hear you.
Mom was like, this one's good for you, this one's big for you.
Yep.
So like, but for me as a Muslim and seeing Khabib finish like that, and like when you always have those guys where it's like those guys, they always have a slip up outside of their sport. Where Tiger Woods, where you're like, man, he was the greatest ever, he was the best, and then he has his little slip up, and then all these guys had their little slip ups outside of it. And even John Jones, where in the cage he's the most dominant performer in the world, and then outside of the cage he's a different person. Like Khabib is the best man outside of the cage, the best man inside of the cage. Like he doesn't have any slip ups anywhere in his life, and like it's one of those guys where like for me, I'm not one of those guys where I need somebody to look up to motivate me or anything like that. But like to have a guy like that, to be a Muslim and to see a guy like that, it makes me want to be a better person, be a better Muslim, just because the way the guy like brings his religion into anything, his family, he's always talking about love your parents. Like that's a true champion. That's why I think that he's the pound for pound GOAT, because he's the guy that's going to make you want to be a better person. He's the guy that kids are going to look up to, and parents are going to be like him, whether you're a Muslim or non-Muslim. Like his morals and everything, you could be anything and like learn from his morals and the way that he teaches people. And I feel like just his hard work, everything he does, like he's not that greatest athlete where it's like John Jones has the longest wingspan, or he's the tallest guy, or he's the strongest guy in the world. You can tell it's all hard work, and it's all hard work and discipline that he learned from his parents and his father, and it just brings it into his life.
Well put, man. We know if that title is vacant, obviously a lot of names coming around, a lot of sort of opportunity to sort of compete for that uncontested belt. However, it seems like that may very well be decided on January 23rd. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but certainly some possibly cryptic tweets out of hopefully our guest tonight, Mr. Poirier and Mr. McGregor. It's going to shock me if those two aren't competing for the title. I don't see how Dustin Poirier isn't part of that equation. What are your thoughts on who's next to settle that undisputed belt?
Yeah, like for me, honestly, it's like Dustin should be the key part in that scenario. Like he should definitely get that title shot. He's the one on the biggest streak. The only person who lost to is Khabib, and McGregor is like the biggest name in the division right now. And I feel like Dustin earned that rematch with him. The only thing for me is if the UFC wants to give McGregor that shot, because if he wins, he's gonna leave. He's gonna go fight Pac-Man, and then it's gonna be a vacant title again. And then they have to figure out another plan again. But honestly, that's the biggest money making fight right there. That's McGregor's gonna be the biggest name in the sport. And then Dustin's a huge name right now. So like having that rematch and how much better Dustin's got since that fight, I feel like you had to do that fight. And it only makes sense that you do it for the title. Like Gaethje just lost, Ferguson lost to Gaethje. Michael Chandler hasn't really earned a title shot right now. Yeah, I feel like you need to see him do a couple other things. So like those two names right now are the hottest in the division. I feel like they both earned that spot to get that title shot, and hopefully they do it because you need that big pay-per-view right now. You need that big championship fight, and I feel like those two will bring in big numbers.
Yep. Well, speaking of making money, if you're following Belal Muhammad on Instagram, following the Bix, you're making money. So let's get to it. This week's Bully's Bix. All right, Belal. 10-2 last week. Overall, 45-24 and 2, 63%. You might have been 10-2, but I don't want to lose sleep on that lock of the week that did not come in for you, because I know you would have traded that record for Cannonier to come through. Did you see the X-ray, by the way, of his arm in the first round with like the first kick? I mean, dude, just and he still got to the end of the third round to come up and to come back like that, man, unbelievable.
Yeah, I could just tell there was something wrong with him, just the way that he was fighting. I was like, man, what is he doing? Like he wasn't being himself. But like now you realize that his arm was broken the whole time. And Whitaker hits hard, and Whitaker honestly looked the best he's ever looked. And for me too, everybody's saying, oh, Whitaker doesn't want to fight Adesanya again. Why does he want to fight? He's not calling him out. Why isn't he calling him out? He's so nice. I'm like, when you lose to a guy like 2 fights ago and he knocked you out, like you don't want to just jump right back into that mix right away, because if you lose to him twice, then that's it. Like there's no point in you fighting him again. That's kind of like where Max Holloway is, where he lost to Volkanovski 2 times in a row. Max, even though that second one could have gone his way, but it's like UFC, there's no point in making that match again. So like for Whitaker, I could understand why he's like, well, you know what, I'm gonna go celebrate Christmas. Let Adesanya fight somebody else. I'll be there in the long run anyway, because Whitaker looks like a whole different fighter at last fight. And Jared Cannonier, man, that dude's a killer. I thought, no doubt, man, he's for sure gonna fight Israel, but the way Whitaker fought, I was like, God dang it, you were my lock, Jared. You're my lock.
Hey, that's all right, though. I like that pick, man. Anyway, moving on to this weekend's card, UFC Vegas 12, Hole versus Silva. Tight little 3-pack as usual. First in the heavyweight division, Greg Hardy, minus 330 versus Maurice Green, plus 255. Who you got?
I really like Greg Hardy in this match. I feel like he's going to be a lot more athletic than Maurice. I feel like Greg Hardy's had harder competition. I feel like he showed a lot in that Volkov fight, and you see what Volkov just did last weekend too to a big name of Walt Harris. So it just shows you how tough Greg Hardy is. So I think Greg Hardy's going to take this one.
Gotcha. Moving next, co-main event. Man, I'm excited to see this kid fight again. Bryce Mitchell, slight favorite, minus 145 versus Andre Fili, plus 115. What's the bet?
Man, I'm super excited for this fight. I think this fight's going to be great, and it's going to be who implements their game plan more. I feel like it comes down to whether or not Bryce Mitchell could take him down. You saw Bryce Mitchell dominate Charles Rosa, who's a black belt on the ground. But to me, in that fight, Rosa was comfortable getting taken down. Like he really didn't fight those takedowns; it was easy takedowns, and Rosa landed some pretty good strikes on Mitchell. I think Fili's striking is a lot better than Mitchell's, and it's going to pay dividends this fight. If he can keep the distance, he's a lot longer than Bryce. He's going to throw a couple of head kicks. Bryce really doesn't set up his takedown. He just goes in there and reaches for it. I think Fili's a live underdog in this one, and I feel like Fili's going to come out on top.
Boom. Love it, man. All right. Finally, main event, middleweight division. Man, the UFC is like the gift that keeps on giving. It's like Khabib, and now we got Anderson Silva. I know he's 45 years old, but man, it just keeps coming. Uriah Hall, pretty heavy favorite here, minus 235 versus Anderson Silva. On the Anik and Florian podcast, I believe Florian and Parker were on opposite sides of this. So, Belal, break the tie.
Man, it's crazy seeing Anderson Silva say this is his last fight. One of the GOATs, and you get to see two of the best ever to retire back-to-back weeks, and Khabib, and then now Anderson Silva. But for me, I feel like Uriah Hall is on a good streak right now. He's been looking good. He's ever since he made the move to Fortis MMA. He's just been a different fighter. I think he's going to be too much for Anderson. He's going to be a lot faster than him. And his last fight, Anderson his age showed a little bit. He got dropped with leg kicks. I know he got hurt, but maybe it's just his body breaking down. At some point, father time kicks in, and I feel like that's the point now where Uriah Hall is going to come out here. I think he's going to get the finish, honestly.
Well, if not, it'll be pretty interesting. If Silva gets it done, you're going to have the, 1 weekend Khabib retiring in the octagon. I'd be surprised if this isn't Anderson's last fight too. So, but anyway, I hear you. So, Hall, the final pick. I like it, man. Well, 10-2 again would be a nice package for everyone, So, will we be seeing a lock of the night on Instagram again?
I only do the lock of the nights on pay-per-views.
I got you.
Man, I was close, man. I was sitting there thinking I was going to get a perfect card. I was like, oh, God dang it.
Right.
But, it's only going up from here. The last 2 weeks, I've been only had 2 wrong the last week and the week before that, too. So the percentage is going up.
Yep. We'll keep following along. Anyway, we're going to move along to our much anticipated part of the program, getting to the game show. Pretty excited for tonight's show, bro. We got some fire on the guests. So let's get right to it, man. We're going to bring some people in. I'm going to introduce. Oh, Cody, what's up? I don't got
I'm
you
on
here.
mute
Okay.
right there.
Oh.
You know that's going to happen with the live TV. We had to bring out all the stops at Bully's request. He wanted some intro music, so I'm here to play the intro music. Here you go. Jay, take the intro away for Mr.
Oh, there it is. Oh, the Irish Dragon on your screen. What is up, Paul Felder?
What's up?
Good to see you, man. Listen, I want to say I've never met you before, but I can't tell you how well I feel like I know you, bro. Like on so many levels. I can't even begin to start. But you know Belal very well, man. We appreciate you being with us. We've been waiting to have you on, bro. Great to see you, man. You can talk to your boy now.
Thank you.
What's up, Paulie? I'm not gonna lie. I literally had texts all day from CM Punk, from Jared, everybody saying you're not gonna show up. Paul's gonna bail. Paul's gonna bail. I was like, dude, he's doing it. He's doing it for sure. Jared, where are you at, loser? Paul's here, Jared. Paul's here.
So, Paul, are you calling the fights this weekend?
Oh no. I'm home until the 14th.
Gotcha.
I'm home until the 14th. Oh, the strudel.
Hey, buddy.
United.
How are you? Look who else is here.
We got a Moroccan friend.
Oh man, what's up?
I can't hear you.
Oh,
God dang it, Jared. What's up?
Mike. Oh, I'm in your ears. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
dude, my teammate just knocked out Kenny Richmond.
I'm watching it. Yeah, I'm watching it right now, man. He withstood some good shots.
I didn't see it, but I saw the replay.
Crazy.
Well, how you doing, Paul? How's the triathlon training going? Did you go swim everything today? Swimming everything?
Dude, I'm so all in on this stuff. You guys have no idea. Nobody else thinks it's cool except for a few guys. I can talk to you guys about it. I can talk to Jared about it. Even John Anik as well will listen to me talk about running and stuff like that. It's so boring, but yeah, dude, I've been doing crazy pool workouts. This guy makes up for me that I hired, this triathlon coach. And it's
Is it a different level than MMA training?
in a different way, right? It's mentality comes in a totally new way.
Yeah.
You're running for an hour 5 sometimes, like a minimum that you'll do. Like 7 miles is like my minimum run now.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So, like, are you just literally eating whatever you want?
Bro, you saw that picture, right? I saw
Yeah.
like the fried ricotta donut. And it's like Roman
Tell him you said it's over with.
square pizzas. Bro, I was like 175.
Wow. Oh, 175?
Yeah, dude.
That is crazy. You're lighter than Jared right now.
Yeah, but that happened at lightweight, featherweight. It didn't matter what weight class he's at. He's been heavier than me in the past.
So have you done any MMA training or practicing recently?
I've done some pads with Kafaro. Ryan came over. I got some mats in my garage and everything, man. So I'm keeping it super chill right now because I'm calling so many fights too. If I get in a big group of guys and I get it, then I'm not working and I'm not fighting. So it's like I got to be careful.
So that triathlon was in March?
March 14th in Miami.
Wow.
Miami.
Challenge Miami. I'm officially signed 70.3. So 1.2 miles, 56-mile bike ride, and then a nice 13.1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Good for you,
So
man.
are you doing any open water swimming right now, or no? Do you have to train like that?
Problem right now, it's getting to the point for us, even, well, not you down in Florida, but back in Chicago here, it's like I can't, now the water is going to start getting frigid.
Yeah.
Got some drills that I've got to do in the pool for like spotting, so that during your stroke you have to actually pop your whole head up and see the buoy and like go back down and go back into your stroke. We'll see about that. I'm still trying to master the flip turn. That alone is
Oh, have you got that yet or no?
dude, I'll hit it once like smooth, and then I'll go to do it at the other end of the pool thinking I'm doing and I'll swallow water, it'll go up my nose, and then I'm doggy paddling in the middle. So I don't do it when too many people are around.
So
Are you doing your stuff back to back to back or no? Sorry.
No, you're good.
I'll do certain days where I will do that to get practicing from one to the other. Like a lot of the time I'll do my bike to the run, right? So the run might not be as long as it would be, but I'll do like a 2.5 hour bike ride, and then throw on my running shoes, change my shoes, run outside and run 5 miles.
So, like, do you think this will help? They'll help you as a fighter? Is that part of the reason for doing this, or is it not really related?
What fighter? I'm an athlete now.
Yeah.
I think it would help if down the line I took a fight in a couple months or something like that. Let's say I did get a good matchup and got back in there. My weight is so ridiculously low that I feel so fit that if I went into a camp, even if it was 6 to 8 weeks, I would just go all in on technique and really drilling things the right way, and not maybe beat the crap out of myself getting that weight down so much, because that was really starting to kill me at 155. Belal can attest to how big I've gotten as a lightweight out of camp. I mean, I'd be 200 pounds.
Yeah. What do you think of the division now that Khabib's gone?
Well, is he gone now? That was just that Dana's like, I'm not sure. He was in motion. But if he's gone, obviously it's the dog fight for these guys right now with, Tony. You still got Dustin. You got
we got you, Paul. Nobody's
Exactly.
bringing up your name, and it's pissing me off. I'm like, dude, Paul Felder's literally right up there with you.
bro. When people comment like, "Well, when are you fighting?" I say, look at this. I'm not even in the conversation. You know what I mean? And I've always said, and this, like the only reason I was still fighting was that I was still in that contention for the belt. And then I started creeping up the rankings. So I kept fighting. I never said that I was shy from walking away from this sport. I've always had other interests and things that I want to do, for getting back into acting. Right. I mean, a little bit, Jason, about.
No, I hear you.
Yeah. And, so I was like, not even mentioned. And if I'm not even mentioned and I'm not going to get those fights, then I'm not going to fight. I'm not just going to take a fight at the bottom of the division just because I want to fight. I want to make sure that I'm fighting towards being at the top. And now that Khabib's gone, my God, it's realistic, right?
That's what I'm saying. There's not that one dominant force where you're like, oh, well, this guy's grappling is next level. Now it's just literally it's a striker. It's all strikers now up top. Except for Oliveira, and you dominate Oliveira.
Oliveira, right? You got Tony, who's a submission guy. So you've got a ground threat in him, but he loves to stand and throw elbows and things. And Dustin, obviously, he loves getting into a stand-up battle. Connor, I mean, he's going to strike with you. So Booker, everybody there, like you said, is a fight. Chandler now is obviously in the mix, and he's getting talked about. All these guys, I know he's a wrestler, but you punch him in the face once and he wants to fight.
Yeah, you're right. What do you think about a tournament? Do you like the idea of a tournament being thrown out there?
Yeah, I think that's a cool idea. I mean, it's something they haven't done, and they've been trying to branch out and do some new things. So it's definitely the division that they could do that, right? I mean, it's there's talent everywhere. So any matchup that you make, it doesn't matter if you do there's certain numbers face certain numbers, however you want to make it work out, but it would be sick.
I feel like that makes the most sense, honestly.
Yeah.
So, Paul, you must like calling fights. No doubt it seems like you like calling fights. It was like you were living in Abu Dhabi. And so knowing that and knowing sort of other interests. I mean, like the broadcasting thing is interesting because you can be sure there are fighters chomping at the bit to get in those seats. And there are certain fighters that have been in those seats that aren't in those seats. And so, certainly great for you the opportunities you've been provided, and you've certainly hit home runs with them. That's got to be part, as you think about, I'm 42, I know you're younger, but you got a great career ahead of you there. And it's hard to ignore some of that. You're a very regular worker there,
Yeah, they've got me. And it's been all good feedback, and I love everybody I work with, and it's a good time. And yeah, I get to see these guys at the top of the top of the top of the sport, compete. I'm calling championship fights. I'm on pay-per-views and things. So yeah, it's fantastic. And I think eventually, like you said, going to kind of open up other avenues into television, whether it be acting or not acting or being on other shows.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot that happens. So the fighting's only beating away at that, Belal. It's just I get further and further from that action.
I'm saying, but you're not getting that itch when you see that when you're at the fights and you're like commentator. You're like, man, you know what? Let me go train or let me go spar. Like, when's the last time you sparred? You haven't sparred in a while?
6 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Grappling maybe 4 or 5 months. Yeah.
It's interesting. It's like all you guys that are fighters, it's like us as fight fans. And you can be sure my brother's like, we might be older than all you motherfuckers, excuse my language, but we're like young kids watching you guys. So to me, it's like, all I care about is when Paul Felder is fighting next. All I care about is 12-19 when Belal is fighting. So yeah. I like the commentary. I like the triathlon. But when John tells me today you're doing a triathlon March 14th, I'm like, I look at that lightweight picture and I'm like, all right, well, even if it's one more fight, it's tough for us fans to hear it.
I know, I whenever I real now, when I think about fighting, I think about getting my hand raised. I think about going home to my family. I think all these good things. And then this other thing creeps in, and it's how long am I going to be in the hospital? What's my face going to look like when I come home? Am I going to be pissing blood again this time? It's been 3 times in the last 3 fights where I'm pissing blood.
3 time fights.
I don't feel like going and getting my kidneys. And then I had rhabdo after the last fight. I was peeing what looked like Coca-Cola. Craig was in there. I was like, dude,
yeah,
what is this? He's like, that's not good.
Jesus. Yeah, that'll wake you up.
Crazy.
When I was hitting pads the other day, I was fired up, man. And I 5.5s, no problem. Gas tank felt great. I felt sharp. So I feel like if I did go back, my body's going to feel good. I'm not going to feel beat up. Hopefully I haven't forgotten everything I've learned. I don't think after fighting that I've forgotten how to do some grappling, but obviously that's what I'd have to really jump into fastest. It's like, all right, I got to get back on the mat.
When's the next card you're commentating?
I think I'm almost positive it's November 14th. I was supposed to do November 7th, and I got moved around for some reason. So I think it's the 14th, and I was doing your fight. Are you still fighting?
Yeah, well, thanks for breaking the news. But Sean Brady pulled out.
Did I just for real?
Yeah, you broke the news, Ariel. Thanks a lot. Sean Brady pulled out, guys. So we're looking for a new opponent. Hoping that Mike Perry takes his fight. He lost his opponent. So hopefully we get that made. And we hop on there. So, yeah. So we're staying ready. Doesn't matter which name's in front of us, but we got a date. So hoping that just another big name pops up.
Nice. Well, Paul Felder always wanted to break news, but we got another fella that's going to be joining us here that's pretty big news as well today. So, Cody, you want to jump yourself on screen? You're going to try that music again, get it going for the boss, or what?
I'm going to, but I'm a little gun shy because I messed the last one up. So
hey,
here it is. Here's a little James Brown program. For you.
He is the boss. Yes, he is. That motherfucker. He is on the television screen. Dustin Poirier, what is up, brother? Jason Anik, nice to meet you, man. I know you know everybody else on your screen, man. Thanks for joining us. What's up, man?
Not too much, man. Just here at the Mohegan Sun. Just made a clean sweep, dude. 4-0, American Top Team Fighters. Good night.
Congrats to Sabat. That was a sick flying knee right there that he finished him with. I saw that. I was like, oh, man, Dustin's going to be hyped.
Dude, we were all pumped, man. We were all pumped. Great performance.
Appreciate you, brother. But hey, we're right here. We got Paul Felder here. Let's get this game show started, Cody.
Go!
All right. Poirier, Felder, Cody, we got the rules. Questions will go back and forth. Gentlemen, when you know the correct answer, shout bully. If you get a wrong answer, the points are negative. Correct answer, points are positive. High score wins. Let's do it.
Oh, man.
We lost DP.
Oh, no.
It's all right. We got our regular fill-in, Jared Gordon, in the background. I just love that.
The best part about that is as I was pulling myself off the screen and we had Dustin and we had Paul Felder, so thank you both for joining, I was like, damn, this one actually came together perfectly. This is crazy. And then all of a sudden Dustin's connection pops out. So
Let's see if we can hop him back on. But Paul Felder, as you saw, we have the winner of the show getting $500 sent to their charity of their choice. We obviously know Dustin's.
Yep.
Where would you want to donate your stuff? Jared said that he has the Jared Gordon Foundation, but I'm sure you have somebody else you support.
Yeah, it's PanCan, the pancreatic cancer organization that does, just kind of pushing the knowledge of pancreatic cancer awareness and, for all the family and everybody else. And, my first Muay Thai coach died of pancreatic cancer. And obviously my father passed away of pancreatic cancer. So that's definitely who I'd be giving that to.
That's awesome, brother.
Well, you'll be winning it if we don't get DP back on the screen. So
I'll take it. I'll take any wins over Dustin that I can get.
Dude, so while he's coming on, right? So Felder, when you're watching fights, there he is. Forget it. Let's do it. Dustin,
there you go, Dustin.
All right.
I don't know what happened, but I'm good now.
All right. That questions will go back and forth. You shout bully if you know the correct answer. If the answer is wrong, your opponent gets the point. If you answer correctly, you get the points. High score wins.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
And Dustin, as you know, we have a sponsor, BVS King, who donated $500 to the winner of the show. Obviously, man, congratulations on your award this weekend for the Good Fight Foundation. It's just awesome stuff that you're doing. And if anybody else that's watching the show wants to donate, every dollar counts. So let's look at the categories for today's show. Here's today's categories. The last three champions. I'll say a division. You have to say the last three champions of that division. And it can't be a repeat. So if the guy won it, lost it, won it back, it has to be three different names. Then next one is who is he or she? It's guy fighters with girl filters. You have to tell me who the guy fighter is that's behind the girl filter. This one is face mash. You guys know what face mashes are? It's two fighters put together. You have to tell me which two fighters they are. It's gonna be there's some funny ones out here, and you guys should know both of them. And then the last one is who said it? It's a quote, and it's multiple choice. So if you know the correct answer, shout bully, and you tell me which letter is the multiple choice right answer.
Gotcha.
So Paul, you were here first, so I'll let you pick the first category.
Ooh, all right. I'll start with who is she or he for 100.
100. All right, let's see it. Who is he or she?
Bully.
Dustin.
Anthony Pettis.
Come on, Paul. Where is that? That's your teammate.
He looked off.
Dustin gets the points. Dustin, next category.
Let's do who said it for 200.
We said it for 200. Let's go. There's three things in his life that excite me. Women, dinosaurs, and the violence of the octagon. Who said it? A, Sage Northcutt. Who said it? Dustin?
GSP.
Boom. He got it. What are you doing, Paul? Do you know anything? You're a commentator.
And he
Volleyball.
Dustin, you get it? You continue on.
Let's rock with face smash for 200.
Face smash for 200. Who are two fighters?
Bully.
Dustin.
Ngannou and John Jones.
Dang, Dustin is killing you, Paul. What are you doing? It's a clean sweep. Dustin, you keep going.
Who said it for 100?
Who said it for 100? I love my family, my friends, my teammate, my coaches, and I love Arkansas.
Bully.
Dustin.
I said it.
Yeah,
Paul,
you said it.
Paul.
Thank you, Dustin. That was honorable. Bryce Mitchell.
Dang, you got it. Finally, Paul's on board.
Whew, I just did. It's all right. Now I can live no matter what. I at least gotta get one.
You're up, Paul.
Oh, all right. Let's go. Who said it 300?
Who said it 300? Oh, wait. He did face mash.
Oh, I know who that is, though.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you guys doing?
Oh, major foul up.
That was an accident. God dang it, Cody. All right, Paul, next category.
So that's
Nobody gets the points with that one.
That's all good.
Who said it for 300?
Let's go.
Yeah, who said it 300? Actually, on the contrary, my MMA career has gotten in the way of my weed smoking. A, Nick Diaz. B, Dustin.
Nick Diaz.
Man, Dustin, he hasn't got one wrong answer, Paul.
I tried. He got me there, but I tried to get in.
Dustin, you pick.
Who said it for 400?
Who said it 400? His face is a magnet to crotches. There's a heavy price to pay for that. Who said it?
Jorge.
Paul got it.
Yeah, damn, that was a big points right there.
Come on, Dustin, that's your boy.
I know, man. I didn't get to finish. I was trying to read it, but
All right, now we're close now. That was a big 400.
Jorge, I knew right away. All right.
Yeah.
You're up, Paul.
Oh man, I don't even want to touch the last three champions.
Dude, I know. I was thinking that too. I'm like, I'm gonna make myself look like a fool right here.
Who face match for 100?
Face match for 100. Two people. Who is it?
Bully.
Paul.
Nate and Connor.
Oh, that was a good one.
Oh, yeah. That's nice.
All right, Paul's getting back in there. 200
right.
points behind. You're up, Paul.
Let's try to redeem myself for who is she or he for let's go big 300.
Oh, wait.
Oh no.
Dustin's missing.
Oh man, I'm so glad I got in there, dude. I was getting nervous there for a second.
Man,
Well, dude,
you're starting to get a clean sweep.
Yeah, I was like, this is a lot of categories, and I've been watching a lot of Jeopardy, so I should be
got
getting in.
booted.
Back.
You're good. You're good. We didn't do anything, Dustin. He said who was he or she for 200.
Yeah. I screamed, but it was I had that one, bro.
Here we go, Cody. All right, who is he or she?
Bully.
Oh,
Dustin.
Michael Chandler.
Boom, he got it. Come on, Paul. That was an easy one.
I know. I saw the tattoo, but
All right, 400. This is big right here. You're up,
Let
Dustin.
me go. Ah, shit. I'm gonna save that for last. Let's do face mash 400.
Face match 400. Here we go.
Bully.
Dustin.
oh, damn it! I know it now.
Dillashaw and Garbrandt.
Damn it!
Boom. That was big right there. That was heartbreaking right there, Paul.
I needed that. I needed that.
Let's
This
go.
is big. You're up, Dustin. Yeah.
Who is he or he for 400?
Who is he or she for 400? This is big, Paul.
Ah,
Bully.
Paul.
Tyron.
yeah.
That was a big one, Paul. That was big. The Eagles are coming back.
All right. How they play.
You're up, Paul.
All right. Who is he or she for 300?
This is a big one right here.
Bully.
Dustin.
Honor.
Conor McGregor.
Come on, Paul. That is such an easy one. This has to be your category, Paul. You need a sweep right here. You're up, Dustin.
Yeah.
All right, this is gonna be tough. Let's go. Let's go 100.
100. Heavyweight champs. Last three.
Bully.
Dustin.
Stipe. John Jones. I'm sorry. No, sorry. I'm sorry.
That was wrong.
DC.
That was wrong. That was
DC.
wrong.
Dude, you know, we both know
Jason.
Jeff's a heavyweight.
Jason, I need my judge. Jason, what are we getting with this?
Well, so he's got to name one more, right? I mean,
But he has to get 3 right. If he said John Jones, that's already been wrong.
Let me tell you the 3 right now. It's Stipe, DC, and Fabricio Verdun.
Those are the correct answers. But do we give him the points, Jason, or do we make this a game?
Would they on Jeopardy? You know,
Jeopardy, they would not give you the points. I'm sorry, Dustin.
I mean, it's,
points for Paul.
But I don't love making decisions on, Ultimate Fighting Championship fighters, telling these guys who's getting the points. But hey, I think we got to even up the game. We got to give it to Felder.
All right.
Not gonna help.
You know,
Paul, you're up.
DC and Jones their careers are so intertwined with each other. That's why I said that. I apologize, Daniel Cormier, the heavyweight champion of the world.
Once those words came out of your mouth, I knew you wanted to bring it right back. You're like, John Jones, no.
Yeah.
You're up, Paul.
Oh man, let's go last 3 champions 400. Let's try to see if it's
400. Last 3 champions of the women's bantamweight.
fully. I gotta go for it. I mean,
Paul. You got 5 seconds to say a name.
Fucking Amanda Nunes.
1.
Misha Tate. Holly Holm.
Whoo! That was big. That was big right there. This is a game. This is a game.
Ooh, commentary coming to hand.
This is a 200-point game. We got 500 points on the board. Let's go, Paul. You're up.
Big. Let's go. Last 3 champions 300.
300. Paul, you need this one.
Bully.
Paul.
That was me.
Wait, Jason. That was Paul or Dustin?
Unfortunately for Mr. Poirier, it was Paul. You can run it back. It was.
What?
It was Paul. It was Paul. Sorry, Dustin. You're up.
This is bullshit.
Israel Adesanya. Now,
What?
are we doing interim champions? No, right?
Last 3 champions. Say them.
Adesanya. Robert Whittaker. And who the fuck did Rob beat? Who did Whittaker beat?
3 seconds. 2 seconds. 1 second. I need a guess.
I can't remember who you beat.
Dustin, do you know?
Oh shit. Is my time running?
The time's running.
Would it be? Oh shit. Was it vacant?
I'll say this: there was a champion before Whittaker.
I know he fought Yoel Romero, but was it vacant?
It was vacant because this guy retired.
GSP.
Dustin got it.
Oh,
Come on, Paul.
Paul.
right. but
That
he
was
fought-
big.
He fought that one time, and then that was it. I totally forgot about that. And then it was Bisping before that. What the fuck?
That was huge. We'll just do this last one out of just so you can go home with some points, Paul. Let's see. You know featherweight, men's featherweight.
Me?
Either one of you guys. I just don't want you to lose bad. Dustin.
In?
It's Volkanovski, Holloway, Jose Aldo. You're welcome.
Boom! Dustin ran away with it. And we have your champion here. Dustin, new champion. How does it feel to be the champion? You
It feels good.
$5 to your charity.
I want to thank all my sponsors, the Good Fight Foundation. Thank you so much.
Congrats.
Thank you for coming out, Paul. That was awesome to have you here. Great game. That was a tight one. That was close.
I'm glad.
That just tells us what's going to happen in the NFL. New Orleans, Philly. Philly's looking terrible right now.
I think we play the Bears this weekend.
That's a good one. Bears are looking good.
Yeah.
But shout out to you, Paul. Thank you for coming on. Dustin, if we can have you on for a little bit longer to talk to you a little bit.
Okay.
Thank you, Paul, for coming on. Appreciate you.
Peace
Catch you
out.
later, brother.
Later, Paul.
Man, that was a good game, man. That was a close one. There were some close ones in that game. It was hot, right?
Hey, it almost slipped away from me, bro. It really did.
I was like, man, you came out so hot. I was like, Paul's coming back with those big ones. He got that big 400.
Yeah. I can't believe I said Jones, bro. I think I would have pulled away if I wouldn't have said that.
Yeah, that was huge. But now that we got you here, the lightweight division is up in the air. Obviously, everybody in the world is saying you deserve the title shot. Is that McGregor fight booked yet, or you guys still in the talks?
We're still in the talks. I don't know really what's going to happen, but if the belt really is vacated, or Khabib really is retired, which I take him for a man of his word, I have to be in the talk of a title fight. I'm the only guy in the top 5 coming off a win over another top 5 opponent, and I was just an interim world champion 1 fight ago. So we'll see what happens. This is a crazy game, but I feel like if there's a lightweight title fight, I have to be in it.
Yeah,
that's for me. That's what we were just talking about earlier. I feel like that makes the most sense. Obviously, you definitely earned your spot, and you're one of the biggest names in the division. And obviously, McGregor is a huge name, so I feel like that fight makes the most sense, especially since you guys were in talks already. When you guys have new guys coming in like Chandler and stuff, they haven't earned their spot yet. And I just feel like you guys are just that name brand for the lightweight division. I feel like that's one that makes the most sense more than any other fight in the division right now.
And I put in my work. I've took my lumps. I've got my hand raised over and over again. It's just I have a win over the guy who just fought for the belt. I think I'm the #1 contender.
Well, and it's interesting. My brother John was saying the other day, you can make a case against anybody else except you. And I couldn't agree with that more. Any name you want to throw out there, you're the guy you can't make a case against, and obviously there's a lot of components that you probably know that we don't. But no matter what, it's going to shock us if the next time you get in that cage, it's not for that undisputed belt. And I have to say, watching you and that profile picture of you in your robe, those of us that have been fans of you for a long time, right? I don't know how long that picture's been, but I remember the morning after you won, that picture of you in that robe. I always envision that to be the picture of you that morning after you won that belt. Because those of us that have watched you for as long, not everyone gets to taste it. Plenty of guys don't win a chance. Dan Marino, we live down in Miami now. He never won a ring. So those of us, we're so happy that you got at that point, but I'm sure you're excited for the opportunity to get the undisputed.
Of course. And to touch on that subject, me and Gaethje were kind of going back and forth during his fight week. He was saying that I felt like I had made it when I won the interim belt. Did you see any of that?
Yeah,
I saw that.
I just want to talk about life real quick to you guys, just really quick. I knew that I had a piece of the world title. I knew, I'm not an idiot. I knew I wasn't the undisputed world champion, but I was in a place of gratitude because of the years of work that I put in and put myself in position to beat a current world champion at the time to win an interim belt. Max Holloway was a world champion. And I earned that interim belt through years, 24, 25 fights with this company, going back to the WEC days. I knew I wasn't the undisputed world champion, but I had a piece, and I was very proud of that. So for Gaethje to say that I thought I made it and I was holding a fake belt, and him pushing that belt away, in all those interviews, these last few months of him throwing that belt on the ground, I just want to tell everybody watching this is a life lesson. This isn't about fighting. You got to understand and appreciate the position you put yourself in and be grateful for everything you have, because all these months of Gaethje walking around and throwing that belt down could have been months of him embracing the position, embracing the role that he put himself in, not trying to be a meathead and throwing the belt on the ground and trying to say cool shit. I want the real one. Dude, we know you have a piece of the real one right there on your shoulder that you're throwing around and disrespecting. I honor my work. That's why I carry that belt with pride. I just wanted to put that out there. All those months of him being an interim champion could have been great months if he wouldn't have been throwing that belt on the ground.
No, literally, like the way you just said that right now, and like when I saw that, I was like, "What is Justin?" There's like guys that never fight for the title in their life. When you get to that level, when you've been in the sport, and you literally beat the guy who was like the biggest name in the division right now, Max Holloway was so dominant. He dominated Aldo twice, 2 times in a row, and they were like, people were picking him to beat you, and they were like, "Oh, Max Holloway's even big for lightweight." And it was such a great fight, and the way you went out there and you just put on the best show that I've seen anybody put on against Max Holloway, like. All fighters respect that. I respect that. Like when you said, like we said, Gaethje just threw it to the floor. I'm like, why would you throw that to the floor? Like,
don't discredit the work that you put in, and that's what that young man did every time he put that belt on the ground. He did
that whole moment where he didn't have that.
We know we're not faking that you're the world champion. You're not pretending you're the world champion. You're the interim world champion. That's a piece of the title, but you disrespect every time you disrespect yourself every time you throw that belt on the ground, and that's something I won't do.
Yeah, I mean, and when you're a champion, you fight the number one contender. So, like, when you're fighting a guy of Max Holloway's caliber, that you're a champion. To me, you're a champion. Obviously, you're the champion. So, like, when you go out there and you have that mentality, like, oh, well, I don't want this belt. I don't want this belt. Well, now you may never have that chance to touch that belt again, Justin. And then, like, you didn't appreciate the fact that you had that time, and you could have spent that time with your family. And, you know, like, that's an accomplishment. That's a huge accomplishment that people never even get close to. And they're like, for me, like, when I saw him saying stupid stuff like that, and especially since you beat him, I was like, why are you talking trash for that? Like, Dustin beat you anyway, too. So, like, the fact that you're fighting for the title, Dustin beat you anyway. So, like, it didn't make no sense to me.
I don't know. Maybe it looks cool to the fans who say, when you throw the belt on the ground and say, I want the real one. I don't want this one. This one's a toy one. It looks cool to some fans or something like that, but it doesn't look cool. I mean, maybe he has a different mindset, but for me, that doesn't look cool.
Yeah, for me, you're a champion, and honestly, like, you're one of the guys I always looked up to, and it's always an honor watching you fight. I'm always going to love watching you fight, brother.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And I've been watching you fight ever since you beat Steve Carl. Back in the day, he was training at American Top Team. That's the first time I've seen you fight, and I'm a fan as well.
Thank you, brother. That honestly means a lot, for real, coming from you.
Yeah.
But
Well, Dustin,
honestly, we'll
man,
let you go, Dustin. Oh.
Yeah, no, you're good. I was going to let him go too. We appreciate your time, man, and we can't wait to see an announcement if it comes, and we'll certainly be watching, man. We just appreciate you, man, and I've been rooting for you for a long time. It's great to meet you, man, and we're huge fans, man. Seriously.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the support, guys.
Anytime.
Have a good one, brother, and congratulations.
All right,
We'll definitely
good
send
luck,
that
man.
check out there.
Yeah. Let's go.
All right.
Peace out, brother.
Later, brother. Man, that's good, man. Dude, that's great shit there, man. It's so nice to hear all that, you know, and I'm telling you, man, it's like a guy like that, you know, you got a guy like Tony Ferguson. Who knows when or if the fact that he hasn't ever been competed for the belt, you know, that was great to hear, because I was so happy for him that night when he won that title, and I'm glad he respects it the way he does.
No, that's what I said. When I saw Justin saying stuff like that, I was like, man, like, are you serious? Like, he was the champion, and like, he beat a huge name. Like, when you get to that level where you're fighting for a title, you have to beat the best guys in the world. Max Holloway at that time was literally the best guy in the world, and Dustin went out there and put on a show and beat him. And I was like, he earned that title. Like, what do you consider yourself to earn that title? And it's always about living in a moment. Where I had a couple fights where, like, say, even if I had, like, my UFC debut, I lost my UFC debut, but it was one of those fights where I won fight of the night, and everybody was like, man, that was an amazing fight. And I didn't appreciate that moment. My coach was like, man, I wish you would have just, like, not taken it so hard, and you would appreciate, like, I literally had Max Holloway come to me after the fight saying, oh, man, that was an amazing fight, Diego Sanchez. And I was, like, not trying to hear it from anybody. I just, like, went to my room and, like, wasn't paying attention to anything just because, you know, you get your loss. But then when you think back, like, man, I wish I would have had that moment back just to appreciate that whole feeling. Like, the energy from that crowd was cheering on. I won fight of the night, and I don't even remember what happened there, just because I was just so mad about losing. But the fact that he was a champion, like you said, like Tony Ferguson, 9 fights in a row, and he never had that title. It's something that honestly, it's an accomplishment, and I hope Dustin hangs that belt in his house, because he's definitely a champion in my eyes, and like, he's one of the GOATs in the division. Yeah, well, it'd certainly be interesting to see if he gets another shot, you know, to compete for the belt that he wouldn't drop on the ground. So, yeah, well, anyway, for sure. So one more thing I want to hit on before we get out of here. There's a kid fighting on this Wednesday's Contender Series. I guess a kid you've trained with in Chicago, Ignacio Bahamondes. I hope I pronounced it right, man. But I've heard a lot about this kid, a lot of buzz. We're going to see him Wednesday night, I believe. So what's it like training with this kid? Man, he's on Tuesday Night Contender Series. Like, literally, when I say that there's good strikers and there's great strikers, this kid is like probably one of the best strikers I ever trained with in my life. I've trained with some of the best guys all over the world. This kid is one of those dynamic strikers where you're like, man, how are kids born like this? Like, kids are raised up into striking. This kid is the most exciting fighter. I feel like this show is meant for him. I feel like he's going to go out there, put on a show. Like, Tuesday Night Contender Series is for guys like him, where they go out there, they're fighting for that contract, and they have to put on a show. This kid loves to put on a show. His striking is so dynamic. We've been working on his wrestling game. He's going to show you a lot of different tools that people haven't seen before, and he's going to be a problem for these guys in this UFC. He's only 23 years old, 22 years old, and he's still learning every day. And I'm telling you, when I go with this guy, I'm like, dude, this guy's another level. I've gone with Anthony Showtime Pettis at his prime, and this kid is up there with that at that level. And I'm like, he's exciting, he's dynamic, and I'm for sure going to get a contract. You think he's gonna right away sort of look as if he belongs, or you think he's ready to go right now? Oh, he belongs. Like when you go to like this is what I tell people all the time, where they're like, "Oh man, I wonder if I belong in the UFC. I wonder if I belong in the UFC." There's levels to this game, and there's levels to striking. I feel like his level of striking is up there with the top guys in the UFC. His level of striking is a different level, and guys that are like, there's new guys that are coming up, these young kids that are coming up. Where a couple times Dana White said, "Oh, this guy's too young. Let him get more action. Let him get more fights outside." This guy's been kickboxing since he was 3 years old. He's been on the mat. His dad's been teaching him kickboxing, and these guys have been born with it, raised with it. They live it. He lives this lifestyle. He's in Chicago right now. He's from Chile. His family's not here. He's living in the dorms for the apartment, and he's up every single day, working, hungry, asking me questions. I love guys that ask questions. There's not guys that are just too cocky or anything. He's not that type of guy. He's that guy that's going to go out there and he's going to learn from me, and he'll show it the next day at the practice. Like I'll teach him something, and he'll put it to work. That's what I love about guys like that are always learning. He's a little sponge, and the fact that he's young is making me think like, man, did I get in this game too late? I'm like, this. It's scary seeing guys like this and knowing that there's other guys like this out there.
You didn't get in there too late. It's all coming up now, man. Believe me. But it is fascinating, right? Like you and Khabib are similar age, right? And a lot of people think that MMA prime still could be ahead of him in terms of his age. It's not like other sports where the prime, NFL running back, it's early 20s. That's not the case here.
You're the man, Anderson Silva, didn't get into the UFC until he was 31. So
there you go.
When I always think about that, it's I always think, when people say, "Are you too old? Are you too old?" When you see these young guys coming up, you're like, it gets you a little jealous. Like, oh man, this guy's still got so much time left, but I got so much time left, man. I can sit there. I'm going to be world champion, and that's all that matters.
Attaboy. It's a good way to end it. Well, one at a time. So hopefully next week we'll know who's going to be instead of Sean Brady. That's an interesting name, Perry, you threw out there. But anyway, hey, episode 7 down. We're rolling, man. Next time we're this close, physically, we got to get together. You got to fucking train me a little bit. Show me some miles out there or something, But anyway, we appreciate everyone joining as usual. Episode 7. We'll be back at you next week. Guests to be determined. Episode 8. Same channel, 8:30 on Thursdays. Don't forget Anik and Florian Podcast on Mondays. Belal Muhammad. Always a pleasure, brother.
See you, brother. Peace out, guys. Thank you guys for watching.
Have a good night.